Hello and welcome to New Start at Home. I'm your host, Don McIntosh. We're glad you're with us today, and we're glad to have in the studio today Dr. Neil Nedley. Welcome, Dr. Nedley.
Thank you. Good to be here, Don.
Now, you're a doctor in internal medicine, but you also have gotten into the area of mental health and helping people increase their emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. It has more to do with their success and happiness in life than any other parameter that we can measure.
Okay, and you know, as you're looking at that, people many times will reason emotionally, you say, and they have certain distortions, thought distortions, cognitive distortions that they get into.
Right. There's 10 different ways of distorted thinking, and so we teach them those 10 ways so that they can correct that thinking before they start getting emotional consequences from distorted thoughts.
Now, one of them you said is jumping to the conclusions.
Yes, jumping to conclusions. That's what happens when people are tired about thinking about something. And how they do it is they mind read, and they also do fortune teller error. Those are the two aspects of jumping to conclusions. And we have to realize that even if we know someone very, very well, like our spouse, studies show we can only read their mind by looking at their expressions and seeing what they're talking about. We can only read their mind 80% of the time. If you don't know somebody very well, you're only 25% right in regards to being able to mind read. And so we assume all sorts of motives, we assume all sorts of things that people are thinking, and we're just plain wrong. A significant portion of the time, and then our emotions are based on this jumping to conclusions in regard to mind reading.
Yeah, so you just go down this road and it may not even be so.
Adversely affects relationships significantly.
So the other thing you talk about is magnification.
Yes. Now this is where we get things out of proportion. One of the most famous ways of magnifying things is to tell yourself that you can't stand something. We call it I can't stand it-itis. And you know, when we take a look at it, there's only one thing a human being cannot stand.
What is that?
And that's death. Everything else a human being actually can stand, but when they tell themselves they can't stand it, their emotions get out of control. And so I've even had to teach my kids growing up a little song, I don't like it, I don't like it, it's okay, I can stand it anyway, I can stand it anyway, I'm all right. And it helps them to realize that just because they don't like something doesn't mean they can't stand it, and so there's not a reason for the emotions to get out of control. It causes low frustration tolerance, loss of temper, all sorts of problems due to magnification.
That's a great song to learn before you go to the mall with your family. I actually heard you teach that song, and so I taught my kids that, and we sing it whenever I say no about something. So magnification. Then what about emotional reasoning?
Emotional reasoning goes like this: I feel like a dud, therefore I am a dud. Or I feel overwhelmed and helpless, and thus my problems are impossible to solve. Or I don't feel like doing anything right now, so I won't. Procrastinators do emotional reasoning. People that don't want to change their lifestyle even though they know they should, it's simply due to emotional reasoning. And the solution to that is realize that feelings come and feelings go, and feelings are deceiving. In fact, that's another song as well. Feelings come in, feelings go, and feelings are deceiving. And we finish it out, trust alone on the Word of God, it's something worth believing. And so we need to get to absolute truths and not into this emotional reasoning stuff that's going to really adversely affect us.
So there needs to be some kind of truth that transcends our feelings and emotions that we just trust in on the basis of principle rather than how we feel.
Absolutely. And that's how we positively change our lifestyle even. That's why emotional reasoning, emotional intelligence is so vitally important to staying healthy and getting healthy.
Now, people are interested in learning more about emotional intelligence and how it relates to, you know, their lives. You have some things that you actually teach on this.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a whole 17-hour course on emotional intelligence that's taught. There's some good books that we have that go along with this that can teach anyone to significantly improve their EQ, and this will positively affect their life from here on out.
We've been talking with Dr. Neil Nedley. We've been talking about all these emotional reasonings and emotional intelligence, and maybe you or someone you know struggles with it. In fact, I know that you know someone that probably struggles with this. We're glad you joined us today. Thank you for being with us, Dr. Nedley. And if you'd like more information, go to our website, newstart.com, and we have some links there where you can get in touch with materials concerning this and many other programs. Thanks for joining us.